Hello, Aku here again. Welcome back to FTB Unleashed. We're on to episode 51. So well downloaded last time. I'm going to start this episode by showing you a little trick that someone told me in a comment. It might have been Seth's. If it wasn't, I apologise because I didn't actually check. What I'm going to need here is my force wrench. So I'll grab my force wrench out of there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break the side of this tank. Oop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up that middle block there with a force wrench. So tanks, these steel tanks are always, what have we got? We've got a tank there, steel tank wall. These the data is always stored in that middle block. That's why the tanks are always an odd number, 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, 9x9. So in theory, if we go to our new tank area, and I've changed a little thing there. I put those of these blackout curtains everywhere. I kind of like them. They make the ground go to dirt, which I don't kind of like as much, but never mind. What we're going to do is we're going to use, is that one ready? That one's all ready. Let's break it away. So middle block again, take the middle block out. Nothing in this one, so I just broke it normally. If we replace that with that, and put this glass back, we should have some, hey, liquid DNA. Where's that going? It must have been filling up. That. Yeah, that's what they've been doing. There we go. So that's a quick way of transferring one tank to another. You can just do it by using a Darkcraft force wrench to pick up the middle block, and it'll get it there nice and quick. Cool. Right. What we're getting on with. First of all, we use my usual thing when I start a video and sleep. Now what I've done here is I've started running power. I've changed it a little bit from last time. I've added more engines and stuff. This is really expensive. That's one kind of caveat I need to say now, I think, is that the way I'm building this is in no way cheap at all. I'm not trying to make it cheap. A lot of the things I'm doing are a lot more expensive than they need to be. Like the amount of redstone energy cells I'm going to be using down here. If we look down here, I've changed this a little bit. That side I ain't got no energy cells yet, but I've changed this around a little bit. I put 3 energy cells there, so these should stay full. So let's click on them. So they've all got full power. So each side of this contraption is going to have 7 energy cells, which is not cheap at all. It's ridiculous. But I'm kind of making it ridiculous on purpose. So I've changed the condition on these so that no energy turns the engines on. So if these cells drop to no energy, the thing will turn on for a little bit. So if they're draining power quicker than that, these will turn on for a little bit. I would like to use these. I would like to do these with a little bit of a delay. So I may add some kind of redneck control later on. But for now, I'm going to leave it like it is. So when power gets drawn out of these guys, I've changed where the power goes as well. I've also put these blackout curtains there. I think they look quite nice in the middle of that cog there. I think it gives it a nice dark look in this area. Well, busy is what I wanted. Busy is what I've got. So yeah. So when these guys use energy, they'll pull energy out of these 4. So it's 4 going into 3. I don't know if I should have made that 4 into 5. I'm not sure. At the minute it's 4 into 3. So when these filled up, that one didn't actually drain. That one stayed pretty much full, and the other 3 pretty much drained. And then I changed the condition, which is why I've got a little bit left in them. Yeah, when that starts pulling energy, so I've got nothing connected yet. That's what we're going to do in a minute. We're going to connect our ME network up. Then these will pull energy. So this total overkill amount of engines will probably never pull that much power, especially when I've got all 4 banks running. I made the 3rd bank. I've not put the redstone energy cells in, and I've got everything ready for the 4th bank, which is of course the 10 force engines that are in the other base. Once we've got a lot of the machines across to here, the only thing that we have in the other base is going to be the bees that need power, the bee machines. Which, even if I don't bring the bees here, I think I may bring the bees machines here because they've got gate conditionals now, so I want to actually automate that. So I may bring the machines here, if not the alveries. Right, so what I want to do now then, is I want to start getting my ME network here. The thing I want to do is I want to get a nuclear reactor, and I don't want to set up a nuclear reactor until I've got my ME crafting, auto crafting here, because I want the reactor to be totally automated. The way I've done that, by the way, is I've intentionally put the redstone conduit running up the outside there so you can see it. So that's another bit of intentional wire showing on the outside. So I've run that wire from both sides. I've run it up to there, so that's where you can see it running from. There's the cog. That's the gold cog in the room where the engines are. I've run it through the walls and back to here, and what we're going to do is our ME controller is going to go there. And behind our ME controller we're going to have 5x5 the MAC, the molecular assembly chamber. So that's going to go there. So what I need to do is I need to get a bit of ME cable. This is all semi-temporary, of course, until I tidy things up. I'm not 100% decided. That was going there, doesn't it? Not 100% decided whether I want to cover ME cable, because I like facading ME cable, but like I say, I kind of want this build to be messy intentionally. I want cable running everywhere. I've not got enough at the minute. That's a shame. Let's get a bit more ME cable made. This is actual temporary for the minute. ME. Oh, I've got 11 there. Wonderful. That'll do. So what I'm going to do at the minute is I want my controller there, and at the minute it's at the other base. When I pull that controller out, it's going to take my ME network down, of course. So this is a bit of a dangerous spot. I thought I'd do it on camera in case it goes horribly wrong, and then you can laugh at me. So what I'm going to come and do is I'm going to come here. Now everything should keep working, because all this does is it extends the network. And instead of extending it from this site to the other, all this should do is extend it from the other site to here. So what I need to do is, let's pull in 275 units of power. Let's get my Omni wrench, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that, and the entire network's going to go down. Replace that bit of cable there, because I think it needs it, and let's quickly get this controller placed at the other side, and then in theory at least everything should just pick back up. Whee! So they should be dark as well, and they are, look. So if I put this to here, this should be getting power. They should light back up, and everything should work again. Hooray! Okay. So that works. Pulling the same amount of power, it's exactly the same network as you can see. So that's all good. This is of course going to move up. I'm going to kind of add this in the front of the face, I think. But, for now, that's good. The next thing is to get on my molecular assembly chamber here, and I'll do that off camera because that's going to take a little bit of time breaking all that down, because I've got that many things inside it. I'm going to have to sort a bit of storage out. So now that's here, now that controls here, so that's not using power from here anymore. That's the reason why I wanted it there. Of course, the quantum thing uses its own power off the solar panel, but the ME network was pulling power from this little power tower, I mean, here. So now this has just got that 274 MJs, 274 units. It's about a quarter of that then, isn't it? Is now, so that's what, 70, is it? 70 MJs are now not being pulled from here, they're being pulled from the engines at the other side instead, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. So yeah, the next step for me is take this thing here. So I'm going to have to take all these out and then put them all back in. I wonder if I can take them out with it in it. I'll be back in a bit. I'm going to test a couple of things, and when you see me next, this entire contraption should be at the other base. Okay, that was not as painful as I expected it to be. I managed to get the thing here quite nicely. If you take this apart, the things that hold the pattern, what they're called, pattern providers. The pattern providers, if you do break one, it'll just spill out all the different patterns onto the floor. If you use a force wrench, however, you can pick them up with a force wrench and they'll go back together okay. So there we go, I've got our 5x5x5 Mac there, same size as it was. Got 9 pages in it still. What I've done, I've done them slightly different. If I was to break that, the 9 pattern providers are in the middle, and they've got 9 CPUs this side, 9 CPUs the other side of it. So if I wanted to add more, I could just break that block and swap the block behind it for more pattern providers if we run out of space in there. I've moved these across, so that's them 3 that was there, and I've also brought my ME chest from the other base, so we can now see what's cooking in there. So we can see all spare bits. You see we're down to 42 oak saplings. Interesting. And I've just taken down the old laser building, and I'll show you for why. We've been messing around with a couple of things, trying a few things out, and well, what I can do now is I can get on with making a nuclear reactor, which is going to go across this side, and it's going to be scalable. So I could, in theory, make it so that it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. So no, probably 3, but 780 each. So 3 would be 40, 21, 22, 23, 24, 400. A lot of EU if I was to go 3 high with it. So I need a 5x5 area for that. So that's what's going to go across this side. We can start making that now. I didn't actually 100% need this across here. I just wanted it across here before we started doing that. I'll show you quickly. I always need to sleep. I'll show you quickly why I am over here with all this reinforced stone. I was just messing around with the legs. I've also tried a different texture pack. But what I've done is, why does that look weird? Okay, that's gone weird. That's because I've messed around with the texture packs. That's funny. Okay, I think I need to reboot the server. What's that? Crushed ice. Okay. I just had a quick look on Svak's texture pack. I want to see what that looks, and it's alright. But I've tried that with blocks of cobalt. Cobalt is the actual colour of the Ultramarines, Space Marines. These are where I brought the reinforced stone to. I wanted to try the reinforced stone around the legs there. And I've tried this cobalt. I don't particularly like the look of it, so I'm going to take that back down. I just wanted to show you that. So I was going to try it with cobalt. I think the next thing I'll have a go with is this stuff, this bloodstained brick. I might see how that looks. If we do it, if bloodstained brick looks alright, I might do the full thing red. Let's one of the ones that there is a picture of on the internet is a big red one, and it looks kind of alright. So I kind of like the way that works, that bloodstone brick. Now for that though to make, we need either rotten flesh, smooth sandstone, or smooth sandstone is no problem of course. We've got a sand generator. Rotten flesh I've got what 300 of. I have got a bee that produces rotten flesh and brains, so I could kick that into action. I've actually made the bee but never used it. I got it in case I wanted to make wadded stone. And also raw beef. Unfortunately I've cooked all my raw beef. Speaking of raw beef, I've added the Finrod said that why I've got the food thing on my modular power suit, so I've added it. See at the top left is a little steak. And whenever I need food now, it'll automatically feed me off my bar. I don't know why I didn't have this module. See there, it's auto feeder. Don't want to put the middle-ish. Look how many things there's on that, ridiculous. I don't know why I never had this module. I think I remember Duncan using the quantum suit back when it had auto feeding on it. He used to just take food all the time. So I think it's come from that I thought I probably don't need to. So I never bothered adding it, but it seems to work very well on the MPS suit. So whenever, I think that's saying that's got 2 blocks left, and then it'll eat another one possibly, and that which will add 5 or whatever. So I'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. Yeah, I don't like that cobalt though. I changed all my cobalt from my cobalt bees. I was going to kick in another 2 or 3 cobalt bees to up the production on that, but don't think I particularly like it. Yeah. So right, what I'm going to do is, what I can start doing now, you can start making nuclear reactors. Now we've got 3 back at the other base, of course. I want to make a 4th one. So, well, in fact, we've got 4 if you include the breeder, but let's ignore the breeder for now. So I'm going to make a 4th nuclear reactor. And how long is that going to take us? Has that got a lot of stuff to do? No, not too bad at all. Nuclear reactor, there we go. Oops. And this time we're going to have extra chambers. So chamber. So if you remember the 3 that I've got back at the base, I've all got single chamber. So there's a reactor chamber. I actually want 4 of these. So yeah, the way this new one I'm going to use, it's going to actually have a chamber on each reactor. So I'll do it 1 block off the floor. It should work nice for us, I think. So basically the pattern I'm going to go with now, I've told the ME precision export buses to stop feeding. I can actually put that there. Okay. It looks like I need to have it facing reactor before I can place that. So what I'm going to end up with here, just so you can get your head around what's going to go on, is now 4 reactors all looking at each other. 1, 2, 1 on top of there, 3, 4. So there'll be a gap down the middle. I've done that wrong already. We're going to have 4 reactors. Okay, I can't really do anything until the others run out then. And then once I've placed these, I do like that red brick, that bloodstained brick. I also need to make a bit of warded stone just to see what that looks like. And each one of these is going to have a reactor chamber, just 1 reactor chamber fastened to the back of it. So it's going to be like that, flat system like that. And then, so before them with a gap down the middle, and the gap down the middle is where the conduit's going to go, not the conduit, the glass fibre cable. This is called a pocket reactor. I think Sneaky Craft may have created this reactor design. I know the thread that I'm looking at is one of his threads. So all 4 reactors are going to feed into this, which is going to actually be more than 1 MFSU can take, isn't it? So I'll have to maybe put that to 2 MFSUs, so I don't want the ship blowing up. Max packets, that should be alright. I think that should be alright. We'll see, I have to work a few things out. So what I need to do now is, I can't really do anything else until the other reactors have run out. So I'll probably carry on this episode after the stream. I'm going to relog, I'm going to re-put the server in a minute, try and sort that issue out I've got there. So yeah, I made all my cobalt into ingots, and then ran it all through there, made it all into blocks. But yeah, I don't like it. The bee that I'm talking about with the brainy bee, by the way, I don't think I've ever shown it on camera. I was close to having the bees to make it, so I think it was one more breeding. So what do we need to make that? Let's have a look. Let's set that drawing out there for now. I'll have a quick look at it. Press R. Skulking and pupil. So right, I had both of them bees already, so I just thought I'd put them together and make a brainy. And what a brainy does, as you can see there, it makes zombie brains and rotten flesh. So we could use that as a source of rotten flesh or zombie brains. Like I say, zombie brains, you need a decent source of them if you're going to do warded stone stuff. I'll make some different colour blocks of warded stone. If I make the outside of the Titan out of warded stone, it's going to take forever. So that's something that I'd have to really have a good hard think about if I wanted to do that. Something else I'm doing here as well is, because we've cleared this area. So this is where the old laser drill was. I've kept that like a well in its memory, if you will. What I can start to do is bring this out considerably further. So what's that go like? Down to there. Is it 2 at a time? I've gone 3 there, haven't I? Just because the way that was, so I'd have to move that across. Yeah, I'll change the track around a bit. I'll do that off camera and I'll show you that when I come back as well. I'll give this farm a bit more area for trees to naturally grow, so it's not doing as much work just looking for trees. So I'll spread this out as far as I can. And the other thing we're waiting for, of course, the reason why we're back here is, get off there, fool, is, did I show that on camera, by the way? I changed that for a logistics pipe and it works now. I can't remember. I might have even shown that this morning on camera. If I did, I apologise for showing you again, but that's the reason why that wasn't working. The ice shard wasn't going in because I had a gold pipe there and it was making a mess of it. So I changed that gold pipe for another basic logistics pipe, and that's fine. That's thanks to Monkey will let me know that. Thank you, dude. And what I'm looking for? I am looking for my reactors. And look at these. It's got 30 minutes left. 26. 21. So once these run out, I'll let these run out first because we're not going to be using these uranium cells. We're going to be reusing all this stuff, but we're not going to be using them cells. Once they run out, I'll start moving all these bits across to the other base. We're going to keep our breeder reactor, maybe not exactly as it is, but we are going to keep our breeder reactor. So that'll be going across at some point as well. But these 3 single ones are getting embedded into that little cluster that I'm showing you. So I'll be back in a bit, and it'll probably be after the stream actually when I'm back now. So for anyone who joins me in the stream, this is yesterday from your point of view. This is about where I was up to before the stream started, and I might see you there. Or I might have seen you there. Paradoxes. Back in a bit. Hello, so here I am back again, and it's now the next day since you last saw me. As you can see, the tree farm is quite impressively large. Now this is fully caught back up. If I look in my ME network now, I can do that quickly by looking in the remote order there. You shall see that I have got force. I'm back up to 8k force logs held in the system. So the tank's full at the Titan. I've got 8k force logs. So what I need to make sure, what I need to just be aware of, oops, that energy it cost me, is that this has got enough room in there for everything. I'm pretty sure it should have. So that should come all the way around when that drops below 8128. Now what I've put in here as well is I've placed a lily pad of fertility here, which may be increasing the speed that these trees grow on this end. So we wasn't 100% sure. I did that in the stream yesterday. I wasn't 100% sure if it works on these force trees. We put one in. We also put one in on the normal farm here, because this one certainly will need. I'm pretty sure the lily pad of fertility works there. And we're down to under 8k saplings now, and of course these are part of what gets us biofuel. They're going to the bioreactors down there, under there somewhere. So I've sped up the speed of these. I have mentioned it before, I did have lily pads of fertility once, but I must have started the server without Xenos loaded, because they disappeared. And I am having an issue, I don't know if anyone else has it, but when I log on in the morning, my world's running too fast. I wake up in the morning, and I log on, and then the sun's just literally flying across the sky. So I don't know what's causing that. I'm going to have a look on the Googles. But as you can see there, we've got loads of force. I've maybe even gone a bit too big with that. But I'll fine tune it a little bit. So let's head to the base and carry on with the nuclear reactors. Now I've pulled all the reactors out of there. I've just pulled all the wiring out as well, so I can start reusing the wiring a bit. And I've done a little bit of work on the Titan on the live stream yesterday. I've started doing it blood red brick, bloodstained block, I think I like the look of. And I've put a nice double-headed eagle on the front of there, which is the sign of the Imperium from Warhammer 40k. But I haven't done much else other than that, to be honest. What we've got in here then is we've got all 4 reactors in here now. So we've got 4 reactors in the middle with each of an extra reactor chamber, and they've each got this same pattern of component heat vents and overclocked heat vents. That's all that's in there. So what we need to do now is start wiring it up. So I'm going to be using precision import buses, and I need another one of them. We've got 3. And precision export buses, and they're cool. I've got one there. Excellent. So 4 and 4 of them. So what we're going to want is, right, I'm going to want this. I am going to want a precision export bus onto each reactor. So I might as well go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to want a precision import bus on each reactor. So I might as well put them there, I suppose. That's the same reactor. And unfortunately I haven't got any depleted isotope cells, I don't think. No, I've got some half-used uranium cells, but no depleted isotope cells. So what I'm going to do at the minute, that's an issue I've got as well, by the way. Look, I keep getting extra bits in here. This is stuff that should be going into the recycler at the other place, but it's not going in. So I need to manually put them or delete them, one of the two. Manually put them into the recycler or delete them. That's because the storage cell's still getting overwhelmed a little bit sometimes. Other than that, I'm not sure how much of this was here yesterday. I moved a couple of more bits from the other base. I moved my drives, my 64K storages. All the 1Ks are still at the other base, and I moved the ME chest with the unformatted one across here. I've also got my partition editor and my pattern encoder, because I needed the pattern encoder here to add more patterns to the Mac, because I made a lily pad facility, for example, and bloodstained bricks and other stuff. So that's them bits. Of course, something else I need to decide is, where am I going to run my cable in? Do I want it all visible, like I said, or do I want it hidden? It's a bit of a dilemma. For now, I'm just going to run it until I make a full decision where this is going to go. I'm just going to run it like that. So I'll get it close-ish. So what we're going to want going into these is a pattern I've made called a dual uranium cell. Let's make one of them. So a dual uranium cell. Probably already made it. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, I think it has. Dual uranium cell. There we go. Let's look at the recipe for that. It's just 2 uranium cells and a dense copper plate. So this gets a little bit more expensive because of the dense copper plate. And of course our uranium cells we already make using the re-enriched uranium and coal dust method. That's what we've got our re-enriched uranium getting made in our breeder for. That stuff there. So each one of these is costing us 1 copper ingot, and we get 4 of these out of each uranium because we're using the breeder. So what we're going to want is, since an export bus is going to want that, and always craft. Dual uranium, always craft, and each of these, dual uranium, always craft. And then that one as well. There we go, and then I'm going to want to pull out the leftover bits sometimes out of that, so I'm going to block that with something else for the time being. So what I'll block it with is, I'll block it with something that won't ever be in there. There we go. Jelly babies won't ever be in there, so get that to pull out jelly babies, just so it doesn't pull out all the other stuff. Cool. Oops, didn't have to do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this up here. If you look at this side, we've got a floor at this level. Right, what level's that floor at? Yeah. So I'm going to put my... I don't want to do this. I think I'm going to have a bank of MFSUs across here. So I'll go... I need to do a bit of working out here what I actually want to do. For now I can go here. Actually, I'm going to cut the camera out and have a little think about where I want to put all this stuff, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back, and I've moved things around a little bit. I've moved the export buses from the inside to the outside here, and that's because I wanted to run these up here. Now the whole point of this thing's modular. It should be able to work out that I could, if I wanted to, just make another one of these on top, and then another one, and then another one. So if I wanted more and more nuclear reactor power, I could just keep making these, stacking them up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and keep going. And I'd just be able to extend the cables up now. So this isn't probably the best way of wiring at the minute. What I'm going to do here though is I want my red pipe wire. Now I am using I'm kind of getting quite partial to using cobble structure pipe instead of redneck cable at the minute, just because it's easy to control. So I'm going to put red pipe wire up there, and then on here we're going to get some excuse me, my voice is going a bit. One of them there, and that's going to say if we have got space for energy, I want a red pipe signal. Excellent. And at this end, red pipe signal equals redstone signal. So that'll turn the reactors on. Yep, that's correct, isn't it? I believe. So reactors need a redstone signal to be turned on. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. There we go. So go backwards this time. Space for energy, red pipe signal, redstone signal. So this now should all work. And what I've done is I've run it down to one. Now this is all going to one cell, which you think, well, it's going to be over 512, so is it going to blow up? One MFSU, but it's not, because they're coming in from 4 separate packets. So each packet is under 512, so that'll be fine. But there's 4 packets coming in. So glass fiber cable, it's just probably going to change soon as well with the new IC2, but it can run unlimited packets, or possibly limited, but it's very high up. But each packet has got to be less than 512 each. So if this reactor was bigger and was putting out 520 on its own, it'd blow that wire up. But because each one of these is only putting out 180, you could have 1,000 of these stacked up there, all going to the one glass cable, because they're putting it in separate packets of 180. I hope that makes sense. So this should all work. And not blow anything up. What it's going to do, it's going to put power into that one, which is going to put power into a bank of 3 that I'm going to have here. I'm going to bring the other 2 across at some point when the power's run out over there. And then I'm going to use this as my output power for my IC2 machines. And if we need more power, like I said, I'll just stack up more. And I think it's safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut camera a sec. I'm just going to save the well just in case it isn't. And I'll be back. I'll turn it on. I'll see if it blows up. Okay then, the well's saved, and I've just been checking my moon dial, because I've got a particular bee I want to breed that is requires a full moon. So you'll probably see that in the next episode. Rather than this one, it depends if it's going a full moon or not. Right, so this all should work. Let's just connect it up and see if it goes boom. If it does, I may have to redo things. So this should start crafting. There we go, as the first reactor's on. So it's got the first one in there. It's going to take a while to get them in, of course. It's going to start filling all these up. Looks like it's doing one at a time. With these dual cells. Now really I should have got a thing on the go here, shouldn't I? Should have got some of these on the go first so you can see what was happening. Let's make 4 reactor sensors. Remote sensor kit. 1 for each reactor. So we'll go clockwise. 1, 2, and there's my dad bringing me a cup of coffee. Cheers, Dad, that's awesome. Thanks. 3 and 4. What a star. I'm sure he don't want me to move out. Otherwise he wouldn't bring me cups of coffee, would he? 3, 2 and 1. Now let's turn all these on. So power on. We'll just put the power on real quick for now so we can see what's happening. So you can see here, okay, the temperature is 0, so they're fully contained. And the thing is, they're all putting 180 EU each. 180, yep. 180, 180, so they're all full now. There we go. 180 each, excellent. And of course we need to start doing a power array for this. So that's getting power, but that's also feeding into that. So this is going to fill up first, then it's going to backfill that, and then once that's all full, these should all stop because of the condition I've got on there. And as I said, this is totally modular, and I can just keep going up and up and up and getting more and more power, adding more and more. Should have maybe done them sideways so I could add more and more and more, just for the sake of going nuts with it and adding fucking loads. Right, so what I'll do is I'll cut the camera again, we'll let it fill up, make sure it turns off alright when that's full and then that's full. And then we've got we know we've got half decent power. Let me just mess around with these a little bit. Let me make them thin. And what colour should we go? Cyan, cyan. Cyan orange. Let's go. There we go. And cyan orange. And thin. See if I can type in it out. Oh, I can't. Oh no, I can't. Look, same as before. I get so far and it disappears again. Weird. Still don't know what causes that. Do I need all these different things on? Let's have a look. On off status, heat level, max heat and melting temp I don't need on there. So there we go, temperature 0. Max level heat and temp. Said them backwards. Let's get this side done as well since I'm here. Cyan, orange, max heat, melting temp, and make it thin. And top one, make it thin, and turn them to off. Wonderful. So I'll name them when I work out what that issue is again. How was this going? So I should put some more information panel down for the MFSUs, but I'll wait until I've actually got full MFSUs for that. Until I've got 3 there, should I say. The other 2 are still at the base, of course. I've got one running from the Ultimate Solar Hybrid in the ceiling, and I've got one that's still full. In fact, I could bring the full one just by force wrenching it, I suppose. Right, I'm going to go to the other base anyway. I'm going to show you a couple of little things that we did, that I've done since yesterday. Is this all okay, by the way? Let's just have a quick check down at the engines. Should probably be running fine. Running off MJs at the minute is the actual ME network. So that's mostly running off this bank of engines. Occasionally putting this bank on, as you just saw there. So that bank of engines is pretty much constantly running though. This is all running fine. I pretty much forget about this. This is just running the lasers forever now. If we jump down here, that's maintaining its fullness. No honey's being used at the minute, but the crushed ice is maintaining okay, as is the force trees. Wonderful. Biofuel staying full. That's slowly going up because I turned the cows back on. The cow farm. Everything should be good in here. I don't think there's anything up there yet. No, there isn't. Okay. Right. One other thing I've done since last episode. So I kind of did. Partly, I did this after the stream actually. I didn't do it in the stream. What I've got is a lot of lag as I've come through there. Have I crashed? I think I've crashed. Back in a sec. Okay, I'm back after a crash coming through the gate. That's not happened before. And what I want to show you was this guy. Oh, cows are back on, so I'm getting loads of leather as I run by again, as I used to. The reason I've turned the cows back on is because I actually need raw beef for making the bloodstained bricks for the Titan. Cow with a person on his head looking at me. What I've got is ebony wood. I've got metal ebony trees. So that's how a metal ebony tree goes. You need 9 saplings to grow it. And it kind of grows in this weird trunk pattern where it uses 6 out of the 9. That was awesome. So I managed, that was using teak out of these. I've not filled them back up after I did it either. Using teak pollen on the K-pop tree that I had planted here. And I managed to get a 9, and then I built one, and then I cut all it down, so I've got 27 metal ebony saplings there, so I can start making a metal ebony farm, I guess. Now I'm thinking of making a little Steve's Cart farm for metal ebony and for balsa. So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'm thinking of having a little mess around with that. Just making something little to get, so that's my black wood and my really light wood. I did have some balsa yesterday, but I've lost it. I don't know where that is. Right, so anyway, it's not a full moon, and the episode's getting maybe a bit long, probably over 40 minutes for the first time in a while. So I'm going to wrap up there. The video that I'm looking at making, which I'll do in the next episode, Dark Clown's got a fez on, awesome, is Pure B, and it's V in Rejuvenating, which I got both the V and the Rejuvenating B in the stream yesterday, and it must be made within the influence of a Pure node, which is what I've got over there. I also built that in the stream, and it must be a full moon, which is why I'm keeping an eye on this jade moon dial to see when the moon gets full. So it looks like we're on at half moon at the minute. Are we a half moon? Is it half moon even a thing? I think we're first quarter, I think. So anyway, I'll be keeping an eye on that. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope it was entertaining. Let's quickly go back and see if them reactors have blown up or stopped. Because to be honest, either option might have happened. Let's oops, what have I done? Spaz. Turn that on. Right. Get down here. So they're still running. So that's not full yet. Okay. That's not full yet, but I'm going to wrap up there because I want to get the episode released on time. So I'm going to stop now and say thank you very much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. So we'll see how this carries on from there. Cheers. Bye.